Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tiger Pick'ems on 23 Sports. I'm your host, Thomas Zaffalon. Joining me today is Reese Wegman. So, before we start with any picks, this past week saw two teams, Baylor and Minnesota, who had big undefeated streaks, lose. Which one of these undefeated streaks do you think is going to affect the college football playoff the most?
I think Minnesota for sure. It's really disappointing that the Big Ten can't have two undefeated teams meet in a championship game in Indianapolis this year. But the loss in Minnesota kind of opens the door for Wisconsin to make a run at the Big Ten West. However, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think anyone's going to stand in Ohio State's way for the Big Ten.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this just blows the doors wide open for Ohio State to win the Big Ten. And if they win the next two games, regular season, win the Big Ten championship game, they're looking at probably the second seed in the playoff.
Totally.
So let's get into picks. Ohio State versus Penn State's this week. This is their highest rated opponent the entire season. Mm-hmm. Who do you have in this, Reese?
Yeah, I have Ohio State here. I think, like you said, this is probably their biggest game all season. And, besides maybe rival Michigan coming up, this is probably their hardest, their biggest game of the year. But I think Ohio State can just do everything Penn State can do just a little bit better. And while they can't take this matchup lightly by any means, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be able to come out of this with a win.
Yeah, just like you said, they can do everything Penn State can do better. Penn State has a guy like Yetur Gross-Matos off the edge. Ohio State is Chase Young. Mm-hmm. They have Sean Clifford at quarterback. Ohio State is Justin Fields.
Yes.
KJ Hamler, Penn State's number one receiver, is going to be covered by Jeff Okudah the entire day. I think Ohio State's just a little too good for Penn State. I got the Buckeyes 38-20 in Columbus. So now we move on to the Big 12, a Texas rivalry, as 13th ranked Baylor is going to be taking on unranked Texas. Reese?
Yeah, so Baylor's coming into this game obviously off their first loss this season and a heartbreaker getting beat out by Oklahoma by just 3 points, it's a tough pill to swallow. I bet they really think they could have won that game. I think they could have won that game. So I think they're really going to come in firing on all cylinders in this game. Yeah. And I can't imagine they're going to drop 2 in a row.
Yeah, I've got the same thing. Charlie Brewer has been great this year. Sam Ehlinger is going to be without Colin Johnson this week, so that's going to be a big hit to that offense. I think if the defense can focus in on Sam Ehlinger and Charlie Brewer can do what he's been doing all year, they're going to be fine.
For sure.
I've got Baylor taking this one 38-31 in Waco. Now we go back to Columbia as Mizzou hosts the Tennessee Volunteers. Tigers coming off a big loss against Florida. Reese, who do you have?
So Mizzou's season has really fallen apart. They come into this one losers of 4 straight, and it's just you got to think that they're wanting to get back on track. And Tennessee seems like a team that they should be able to get by pretty easily. But with some of the games that they've lost, Wyoming, just to name one, just a bunch of those games I feel like they could have won. Kentucky, another one. So I think Tennessee could win this game. I still think Mizzou gets it done, but Mizzou definitely can't look past this game, and Tennessee is a real shot in it.
What do you have as the score on this one?
I'll take Mizzou 31-20.
All right. For me, I think Mizzou they're going to heat up again. Yeah. This game's going to be a lot closer than the last couple.
Yes.
But Tennessee, as of late, has been on a hot streak. Mm-hmm. They beat South Carolina by 20. They beat Kentucky at Kentucky by 3.
Especially with starting so slow to the season, too.
Exactly. They had a slow start to the season. Jarek Guantano, I think his name is pronounced. He goes into this game, his only loss is against Alabama.
Yeah.
So, and he's been taking complete control of this offense. I think Tennessee is going to be just a little too much for Mizzou. I've got them in this one 28-18, winning off a last-minute field goal.
That should be a good one.
Yep. And now we head to the SEC matchup of the week as the 24th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies head to Athens to take on the 4th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Reese, what do you have in this?
So I kind of think people might be sleeping on Texas A&M a little bit. They've played some really tough teams this season, and their 3 losses come to Clemson, Auburn, and Alabama. And most of those games have been pretty close, generally speaking. So I still think they're not going to be able to take down Georgia, but this is not going to be a blowout game by any means. I think Georgia takes it 35-24, but it should be a good game, and Georgia definitely cannot take it lightly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. This is going to be back and forth. Mm-hmm. I think it's really going to come down to which offense can do more, and the answer to that is Georgia.
Yes.
Kellen Mond and Jake Fromm are kind of on the same level as far as quarterbacking goes, but Georgia has DeAndre Swift and Brian Harrion, whereas I don't think I can name Texas A&M's running back.
Yeah, they just have way more talent just
Yeah.
up front, and that's just, I mean, eventually throughout the game, third quarter, fourth quarter, that's going to play out.
Exactly. So I've got Georgia taking this one 31 to 18. So before we sign off, we'd like to talk about Barry Odom. At the game, there were a lot of chants calling for him to get fired.
Yeah.
Who do you think, if he does get fired this offseason, are some of the coaching options we're looking at?
It's hard to say. I mean, you can't help but be enticed by Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a real possibility. I mean, it's hard to you don't want to start dreaming for dreaming for those kind of guys and, get let down. But that would be incredible to see.
Exactly. And also with a guy like Gus Malzahn
Yes.
from Auburn, they've been, the boosters there haven't been happy with him as of late. He's a possibility if he does get fired, but I think our most realistic option would be Boise State's head coach or someone of that caliber.
Yeah.
So from 23 Sports,
I'm
for
Reese Wegman.
I'm Thomas Affluon. Have a good night.